Welcome to my new YouTube channel, Code with Nabi. So, as a starter of this series, I thought let's make some series on competitive programming, something which is not very known in my country and not widely practiced at university level as well. So, for the first question, this time I've chosen a very famous problem, TwoSum problem. So, let's dive deep into the problem. So, here we can see the problem statement says we have an integer array nums and a target number, and we need to find what two indices, the value of two indices which we plus, we get target number 9. So let's take an example here. When we sum 2 plus 7, we sum 2 plus 7, we get equals to 9. Okay, so what we need to return is the indices of this 2 and 7 number. So since we are using zero indexing, so 2 is in zero index and 7 is on first index, so we return that as an array. So you can see also in the explanation, because num0 plus num1 is equal to 9, so we return 0 comma 1. Similarly, for second example, we can see what two numbers make 6 here. So we can see simply 2 and 4 make 6 here. 4 plus 2 equals to 6. So 2 is on first index and 4 is on second index, so we just return that as an array. So let's see what the brute force solution can be of this problem. Brute force solution. So if I think of the naive way of solving this problem, what we can simply do is run two for loops over this list, and then we can add up those numbers and just return the indices of those numbers which sum to the target number. So what I mean to say here is we can just run a for loop for I in range len of nums, and we can run another for loop for j in range len of, we can start this with I, or maybe we can start with this I comma len of nums and go to the end of array, and we can just have a simple if condition here. We can just see if nums of I plus nums of j equals to target, then just return the indices I comma j. So this is the solution which I can think of. I think this is getting messy here. Just run to the editor and we can solve the problem there. So let's dump into the editor here. So let's start with the brute force solution first. So what you can do is you can run two for loops here for I in range len of nums, for j in range I comma len of nums. If nums I plus nums j equals to target, then what we can do is just return I comma j. If you find no solution, no two numbers sum up for the target, we just return -1. This is the brute force solution. If we try to analyze this solution, like in terms of time complexity and space complexity, so in terms of time, what we are doing here is we are using two for loops here, right? So we have nums array of n length, and we're doing that loop twice, so the time complexity will be nothing but big O of n square. In terms of space complexity, we're not using any additional variable or additional space in the memory, right? So it's big O of 1. Alright, so this is the solution. We will see that when we submit the solution on the Leetcode, let me try doing that, we'll see that we run out of runtime error or something like that. So I'll just remove the solution here and just paste it here. Okay, I just need that function definition here. I'll just place it here, indent it properly, remove this thing here, and let's place this tags here just for the better visibility. Let me just make it proper way, and then we can just run this and see if we don't have any errors. So it's a brute force solution. It is running for the test cases. Let's try to submit it and see if it runs or we have some error. So it's judging here, and we'll get the solution in a while, and then we'll work on the optimized way of solving this problem. So see, we got here wrong answers. So let's see what it is. It is saying for the input this, the output, expected output is 1 2, but we are returning 0 0 here. We are returning 0 0 here, which means we're doing something wrong here, right? Okay, let's start from 1 here and let's see what it happens. Or we can just do his what we can do is if I not equals to, because I think there's a problem description says you cannot do the same element twice. This is something which I missed it. So what we can do is we can just write a one condition here. If I not equals to j, and I can just put the condition like this and just try to submit the code again. I hope this can work. This will work here, because now no two elements will be sum up to get the answer. So if I not equals to j and nums I plus nums j equals to target, then return the ith index and the jth index. Okay, yeah, now we are seeing the correct answer. So its time limit exceeded. Why? Because we are going for n square. So we can fix this problem very simply by using an optimized way. So what can be the optimized way? The first thing which I can see is here there are two for loops running here. So the first thing I can do is, can there be any way which I can solve this problem in a single for loop? Yes, there can be one way. So let's try to understand the solution first before jumping into the code. So we have an array here 11 2 7 11 5, and our target is 9. Let's take an example for the sake. So the first iteration, what I can do is I can just run one for loop over this nums array. I think let's take a sample from here only. We have 2 7 11 15. Okay, 2 7 11 15, 2 7 11 and 15. So in the first iteration, what I will have is the first element of nums, which is 2. First element of nums equals to 2, and then what I can do is I can create a variable, a potential find, which is nothing but what number I need to add to 2 that will make it 9. So how can I find it? It's a simple formula: target, which is 9 in our case, minus the element of nums array, which in this case is 2, right? Element of nums array, which is 2 in this case, and what we'll get, 9 minus 2 is 7. And then we can just check if 7 already has been seen or not. So for that we will use a Python dictionary, scene dictionary, we can call it scene, and then we'll see that if 7 is already seen or not. If not seen, we can continue and adding it to the scene array, and then when we find this number in scene, we can just return the indices. I know this looks bit very too much, so let's start with the code and I can explain it more clearly over there. So what I can do is, for I in range len of nums, I'll just declare one dictionary here, scene. So for I in range len of nums, we can do is create one variable here, potential find, which is nothing but target minus nums of I at that particular point. So it will run every time and we'll have a different potential find in every loop, in every iteration. So now we'll see if potential find is already in the dictionary, like we've already seen it or not. If it is the case, what we will do, we will return the ith index and the index of the location where we find the potential find. Otherwise, what we will do is we'll add our current number, which is nums of I, with with its index as its value. So this is the key. We have, I hope you know the Python dictionary how it works. We have key and value like this. Okay, we have key and value. So what I'm saying is my key will be nums of I element, which is whatever element, and the value will be its index. So that I don't have to find the index again, and I can just run in single of n time. Alright, so let's solve one, like do a dry run on this. So the first iteration we'll have 2 here. Okay, I have 2 here in nums of I, so 9 minus 2, so I'll have here 7. So if 7 in scene yet? No, it is not in scene yet. I'll just make it empty now. So it will go here and it will add 2, which is the first element, and its index is 0. Alright, and will go in the next iteration. Now we have second element here, nums of I, since I is equals to 1, so nums of I is equals to 7. So 9 minus 7 equals to 2. So potential find is 2. If 2 is already in scene, yes, we can see 2 is already in scene, so it will go in this line number 26, and it will return the current index position, which is 1, comma. So we will have here 1, comma, where we can find this potential find. So it will go into this dictionary scene of potential find, which is this key, and it will return its value, which is 0. So we will be returned with 1, 0, which is our expected output. So let's try run this solution on the Leetcode and see if it's running fine. So I'll just remove this one, I'll place it here, and I'll just indent it. Okay, I'll just need to remove this one, add like this, and I'll indent it. Okay, I'll just also get rid of this comments for the sake of clarity, and I'll just first run some test cases to make sure it's running fine. Yeah, it's running fine. I can just run the submit case and see if it's getting submitted, and we don't have any unexpected error. Oh yes, it gets submitted and it's 145 milliseconds faster than 41.26% faster, and this memory usage, all of this. Now let's run into this analysis, how much time this code will take. So since we are using an extra space here, we are using this Pythonic dictionary here, and this dictionary will occupy space as like it will take, let me see what's happening here. Okay, so the space complexity will be here is big of n. And why is that so? Because we are using a scene dictionary and it will store n elements, at most n elements in itself. Okay, so over here we just, the loop ended in 2 iterations, but it can be the case that we need to go to the final element of the array, and then only we can find the target number. So it might go till there. So the worst case will be big of n. So space complexity is big of n, and the time complexity will be, is just big of n. Why? Because we're just using a single for loop. Alright, I hope it makes sense, and I hope you love this video. Make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more exciting videos and more solutions to these Leetcode problems. Goodbye, see you.